Hello and welcome to this episode of Trojan Poetry. I've chosen the poem. Mike has not read it.
Nope.
This is a poem by Alberto Rios, who was born in 1952. In 2013 through 2015, he was Arizona's first state poet laureate. So this is True Story of the Pins by Alberto Rios. Pins are always plentiful, but one day they were not, and your Uncle Humberto, who collected all the butterflies you see here on the walls, was crazy looking for some, and he went to your cousin Graciela, the hard seamstress who has pins, it is rumored, even in hard times. But when she found out why he wanted them, because the wind from the south, who was her friend since the days of her childhood on the sea, told her, she firmly refused your poor Uncle Humberto, whose picture is here on the wall behind you. Did you feel his eyes? And he went into the most terrible of rages, too terrible for a butterfly collector, we all said afterward, and he burst the vein that grew like a great snake on his small forehead, and he died on the dirt floor of Graciela's house, who of course felt sick, and immediately went and put pins, this is what made her hard, through the bright wings of the butterflies Humberto had prepared, since he was, after all, her father, and she could afford no better light of perpetuity.
Well, the pins, huh?
Yeah.
The true story.
True
of the
story. This
pins.
is the true story of the pins.
Yeah. So that was an interesting twist because I didn't think about it that he was her father,
Yeah.
and he goes into the most terrible of rages
Because
too
she won't give him
terrible-
pins, right?
Yeah, too terrible for a butterfly collector. So he's this because you have to be so precise and calm to be able to,
Right.
put those bugs on there and do the pins and all that. But then, I don't know, I read that it implies he must have done this, but, what is their relationship like?
Right.
He must have done this before.
Right.
And then I also saw the magical realism of the wind from the south, who was her friend
Right.
since the days of her childhood on the sea, told her. So has she escaped into this fantasy world to get away from Uncle Humberto and his horrible rages? Is he a control freak with this butterfly thing?
Yeah, I mean,
what did you think?
I think that's one of the questions you have to ask is how are we supposed to feel about the guy who collects butterflies? Because that's become a pretty violent image, right? I mean, maybe in the older days it was a very scientific thing to do and you were studying nature, but I think it's kind of become a symbol of just cruelty and violence, right? I mean, pinning a butterfly,
Was
killing
it still
butterflies.
alive when you do it?
Well, no, I think you put it to sleep. Like you put it in a jar with the little thing and then it kills it and then you pin it.
And then you pin it.
Right. And Tori Amos, I think, has a song in which
have
she
to
talks
link it.
about pinning butterflies. And it's certainly a violent, negative image. So I think that one of the questions is Graciela maybe, because when she puts the pins in the wings, through the bright wings of the butterflies,
Is that a defiant act, or is that how
right?
you're
Like, is
supposed
she
to do
ruining
it?
them? Because I don't know if you put the. Do you put the pins through the wings, or do you put it through the thorax?
Yeah, the body.
But
so
then I
that
guess
it's
you have to
posted
spread
there.
the wings out. I can't
I
remember.
took it as this was her way of
Right.
remembering him or an homage to him because since he was, after all, her father, which
Right.
means okay, I'm going to do something nice, and she could
Right.
afford no better light of perpetuity.
And she
couldn't-
felt sick.
right. She
right.
couldn't remember, or she couldn't afford, a fancy,
Right.
expensive way to remember
Right,
him.
but then she felt sick and immediately went and put pins. This is what has made her hard through the bright wings. So
her ability to put pins in things is what made her hard.
especially through the bright wings of the butterflies. Because bright wings is one of the adjectives, only adjectives, right?
Yeah.
The bright wings of the butterflies. So it hurts her to put pins in the wings of butterflies.
She
Because
really-
that's why she didn't want to give him to him,
Yeah.
I guess, right? She didn't
she
want to
didn't
give
like
him.
that. And
Right.
it said, when she first appears, Graciela, the hard seamstress, who has pins, it is rumored, even in hard times. That word's mentioned. And then over
Right.
here, the pins, this is what has made her hard.
Right.
So she has this tough exterior because of
She's
these.
willing
she's
to-
willing to put pins through things.
Right.
So she's tough just like her father, or is she resisting her father and the way that he pins things to the
Or she resists
board.
him, but then she feels like she has to do it because
as like a final.
she can't afford anything else. Or
Yeah.
can afford no better light. And the word, I thought the word light, no better light of perpetuity. Like, I don't understand the word light there really, how that functions. no better tribute or no better like
No better light. Well, maybe because Umberto was a jerk, and there was no light. She was trying to put a good spin on, a happy spin on his life.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I think a guy who can rage so hard that he bursts a blood vessel in his face has probably done it before.
Right.
That's just my thing. And
Right, but it came as a surprise, right? Because his daughter is defying him. Maybe that's part of it, right? Like, my daughter
that's why
dare
he
not
got
defy
so
me.
Angry, right? Give me
Right.
the pins.
Right,
And then
right.
Umberto, what's your problem, man?
Right.
That he's freaking out about the pins so much.
And the fact that she immediately puts the pens, immediately went and put the pens.
Yeah.
So again, I think this would be a fun one for students, right? To
Yes.
have to try to infer and figure out the emotions that are being portrayed.
Right.
Hey, there's a phone call.
Phone's ringing, dude.
Time's up.
All right. Thanks for watching. Please join the conversation in the comments on YouTube or on Twitter at Trojan Poetry DGN. Also, check out our website at trojanpoetrydgn.blogspot.com.